Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, back again to do another question and answer session. This time I have a great question that's come to me via email from a gentleman that I'm not going to even begin to try and pronounce their name because there's lots of characters in there that I have no idea where to start with. But, great question. So, hey Levi, hope I am not bothering. Just had a question that's been bugging me for some time. I've seen guys like Mark Lettieri and you use some funk-like mini chords during solos, and I wanted to ask what these chords are. What is their relationship with the chord progression and the general harmony of the song, because I can't figure it out. They seem like random mini chords to me, and they just add so much to the solo. I'd like to start using them too. Thank you and keep up the great work. Thank you for the great question. To be put in a question where you're comparing my playing to Mark Lettieri's playing, this is a good day for me. Mark is a fabulous player. His album is, Spark and Echo, isn't it? Yeah, great album. Anyway, yeah, so I know what you're talking about, and the way I think of it is there's kind of three approaches to this. So you can't just play randomly, as you point out. Or, well, you say it seems random, but it never is. So if I'm improvising in C, I can't just play random notes. For example, if I'm in C, I can't just do this, because this makes no sense. This is like a Darryl Powis chord. There's no reason that you'd ever do that. So there has to be some sort of logic behind what you're doing. My first guidance that I give to people is triads, right? So if I'm in C, again, I've got this C bar chord here, C bar chord here. This is all just caged stuff. When you outline those triads just as two notes, you can play some really musical ideas. Yeah, you get the idea. And you can have lots of fun with that and experiment and do loads of cool stuff. And when you start throwing in chord changes, I was just playing C there. If I start seeing an F and a G, C, F, G, C. So yeah, it really sounds like the chord progression there. I'm doing nothing more than just basic triads. That can be a little bit limiting though. In fact, I could see that I was experimenting a little bit by doing things like, which is, Hendrixisms. But in essence, the next step through that is to start thinking about diatonic intervals. And you'll find ones that you like. So you might practice thirds if I'm playing in C. I'm thinking C mixed Lydian, so really I guess key of F. So I'll do that a lot when I'm improvising. In fact, so practicing a diatonic interval like a third or a sixth actually depends on your style. If you're into funk, you'll practice a lot more fourths, and soul music you'll practice fourths. But I really like the sound of sixths, which are again are common in soul music. If I'm playing sixths diatonic in C mixed Lydian, oops. And when you do that, you can connect things chromatically. I'll when I'm improvising, I'll use sixths like that because they're very melodic to me. Ran out of frets. So yeah, you can be very melodic when you're using things like that, and that's a lot of fun. Of course, you can also look at things like triple stops. Anytime we have something diatonic, I can take just triads that are in the key of C. We play C. Again, actually, I'm really kind of thinking Mixolydian here, so. And I'll use all of those, C's, B flats, D minors. This is really just like a C7 inversion. I mean, I guess you could think of it as like an E diminished triad. And I'll use all of those. Those are important. Get lots of cool sounds out of those. Or even, bigger voicings like this. Too many double stops, Levi. Calm it down. Yeah. The other approach, a little more Holdsworth in nature, would be to take, chord clusters. You could take things like this. What should I do this in C? If I do it in C, so something like this is diatonic to C major. Now I could take something like that and move all of the notes up. And you get these chord voicings. Some of them you'll enjoy and some of them you won't enjoy. And the more you experiment with this, you'll find other voicings, like maybe you take this. That's a nice chord voicing. Now if you're playing funk and you... You can really go to the earth, go to the moon and back with this stuff. Experiment, find lots of ideas that are just not what you would normally expect. And that's really, for me, the answer on this stuff. When you look at what guys like Mark do, there's nothing more exciting when you're improvising in C to spruce things up with a little chord voicing. And, nothing needs to be more, it doesn't need to be more complicated than just... If I'm improvising in C, lots of noise. So hopefully that answers your question. Honestly, there's not one simple answer, but there's a lifetime of experimentation and exploration. You find the things that work for you. John Schofield, jumping off topic again, John Schofield is a big fan of doing things like this. He'll be improvising in C minor. You know, to my ears, that's a really tense major 7. So, you know, if you can make it work for you, if it's a sound that you enjoy, then there's nothing wrong with that. So, hopefully that answered your question. If it did, and if anyone else out there enjoyed that, you can check me out on Patreon by clicking this button up here, subscribe by clicking this button down here, check out 2 more of my videos here and here, lots of cool content. I'm sure you'll find something you enjoy. Don't know what that strange sound there was. Yes, thank you so much for all your support. It's awesome making videos for you guys. So if you have any other questions, hit them in those comments boxes below, and I'll get back to you. Peace out. See you soon. Bye.